I'm Joey Wheeler, and today we're opening this 10-pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What's inside? Red Eyes Black Dragon, 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 Red Eyes Black Dragon.
But the Guardian!
Time Wizard!
So, Cole.
Yeah?
Are you familiar with Conway's Game of Life?
With what?
Conway's Game of Life.
The board game?
No.
Conway's Game of Life. Conway spelled how? Oh, yeah, okay, like that.
See,
I've heard of this. I just fully forgot. Yeah, no, I know what this is.
yeah, this is the basis for all of Destiny's lore.
What?
Yeah. If you look at the rules of it.
Yeah, the rules of it being, according to... Is this the intro?
Yes.
I told you to say something.
According to Wikipedia, the rules of Conway's Game of Life are, one... well, I mean, first of all, I guess for people who... When are we going to say our names?
Don't worry about it.
The fuck you mean? Don't worry about it.
Conway's Game of Life is a cellular automaton devised by British mathematician John Horton Conway. You just start the game. It is essentially automates itself. You just hit the go button after you essentially put all the pieces on the board, and you just watch it go. You can't interfere after that point. It's considered like a universe simulator, essentially, to a point. You actually can program things in it because you can make it so that it creates logic gates. It's really fascinating. The rules of it, according to Wikipedia, is any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies, as if by underpopulation. Any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation. Any live cell with more than 3 live neighbors dies, as if by overpopulation. And any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell, as if by reproduction. The initial pattern constitutes the seed of the system, which is then continuously generated by every succeeding generation. It's math. It's a weird little math game that's meant to simulate how the universe functions. What does this have to do with Destiny?
I'm Peter.
Welcome to the
I'm
podcast.
Cole?
I'm Alina.
So, keep Conway's Game of Life in mind as I go directly into the allegory for Conway's Game of Life, which is the flower game, which is the exact same thing. Except this time, instead of being a 0-player game, it's a 2-player game.
Okay. Sure.
Before we get into that, hi everybody. This is part 2 of Destiny, and if you didn't know that, go watch the first one and also the Warframe one, because this is the whole thing. Okay, thank you, Peter. Go.
Realistically, you can watch the Destiny ones in either order because they do not. One of them does not lead into the other, and vice versa.
This is lore video. The other one's plot video. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You do have to watch the Warframe ones in order, though.
Yeah. Watch the Warframe ones in order. Please do that. Just watch it all in order for clarity's. Just.
Why don't you go back to the
to make
beginning
it
of the
simple.
channel?
Yeah,
Well,
watch everything.
Watch every episode starting from number 1 all the way up to what are we at 50?
The first episode, Adventure Time and Absurdism.
No, we're not at 50, because if we were at 50, we'd be doing that episode we're supposed to do at episode 50, and I don't remember the name of what number are we
I
at?
remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's
Don't-
because
You're gonna.
you're gonna.
It's kind of your episode.
Yeah.
I know I'm fucking around.
Okay. Anyway, back to the actual episode. Conway's Game of Life is pretty much always doomed to one outcome, being the inevitable death of any of the live cells.
Yeah, eventually.
And in the time before time of Destiny, there were two primordial entities known as the Gardener and the Winnower. And they were diametrically opposed, seeing as, one of them gardens, the other circumcises the garden. That's what winnowing is. That's the scientific definition.
Circumcising?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it may as well be.
The gardener is the one that plants life, and the winnower is the one that takes life. In the evenings of this timeless existence, I don't know why it says it's in the evening. I don't know how it's possible that it's in the evening. But the two of them would play the flower game, where the gardener takes the role of the live cells, and the winnower takes the role of the dead cells. Holy shit, dead cells.
Holy shit, dead cells?
We should do an episode on that at some point.
Yeah. Go write that down.
Anyway, because the winnower always wins the flower game, the gardener gets a little sick of it, and in order to spice things up, the gardener decides that it will add both itself and the winnower to the rules of the flower game. Which, in turn, creates the forces of both light and darkness. The gardener obviously being the light, the winnower being the darkness, and the inevitable outcome of the flower game is referred to as the final shape.
Wow. Where have I heard that before?
You're gonna hear it again, not a whole lot, but it'll happen.
And to answer a prior question, we have 34 episodes currently.
Excellent. Anyway, the light is the paracausal force affecting the physical world, while the darkness is the paracausal force affecting the mental world.
Okay, so the light is responsible for why my body feels bad when I wake up, and the dark is responsible for why my brain has felt bad since I was 7.
Yes. Both the gardener and winnower hate you.
You specifically.
It's just another day.
Another day, another god I pissed off somehow.
I mean, you guys know how it goes, right? Trans men can double jump. Trans women can air dash. People like me kill God.
What?
It's a meme.
I'm sorry.
I mean it.
Okay, but Brazilians can double jump.
Who the fuck is that?
People from Brazil.
Oh, I heard the word resilience. So I thought you were talking about a character whose title is resilience.
No.
I did not hear Brazilians. My apologies. I didn't know Brazilians can double jump. I didn't know that.
That's the whole thing.
Is it? I thought a Brazilian's whole thing would be, I don't know, something. I don't know anything about Brazil.
If you look up on a brand new search engine with a brand new
search engine,
one
of them AI-powered search engines,
one that you've never used before, and you type in "can," the first result is always going to be "Can Brazilians double jump?" And the answer is yes.
Okay, I didn't know this. Good for them, I guess.
I'm testing this theory.
How? What?
Don't do that! Don't do that! I'm trying to spread misinformation. I'm trying to lie to our audience to boost engagement. Anyway, the light and darkness come into existence as the eternal conflict between the gardener and the winnower, and thus begins the beginning of time.
Why does... Okay. I guess time doesn't pass in the garden despite it being evening.
Correct. So, the gardener emerges into the universe in the form of the Traveler, the big ball that gives people space powers. And it emerges on the home planet of just some species. It uplifts them the way that it uplifted. They're just some guys. I don't give a fuck who they were. Realistically, it doesn't matter who they were. It's what they did that mattered. But eventually the Traveler left. Because that's what it does.
Okay, so it uplifted these people. Does that mean they got light powers like the Guardians?
No, the Guardians are unique because the Traveler tried to leave Earth, and in response, humanity was like, "No, get the fuck back here," and blew the shit out of it with explosives. And then, because it could no longer escape, it decided, okay, fine, you're gonna guard me, and made the Guardians. So Guardians are unique in the sense that that humanity was the first species that the Traveler uplifted that craved violence so much that it kept the Traveler around.
Wait, what does uplifting mean in this sub context? Does it like make you smarter, make you stronger?
It basically just grants it grants the species access to new technologies and otherwise impossible manifestations, basically. So like it was the reason that humanity achieved like interstellar travel, or not interstellar, but like interplanetary travel on any remotely important scale. It led to the creation of the Exos, which are, robot people, people who crave the strength and certainty of steel, and decided to upload their consciousness to upload their consciousness to robots.
You can't just reference Warhammer in front of me and not get consequenced.
So there's not one thing in particular that the Traveler did. It was effectively just, think of it like giving cavemen the ability to understand how a cell phone works and the ability to recreate that out of whatever they have on hand.
Huh. And it just does this.
It just does this.
It's a paracausal entity constructed of the light that just goes around and does this?
Yep. As a way to perpetuate the flower game. Making it so that the the rules fundamentally change, and and each cell no longer is snuffed out by having too many or too little neighboring cells.
Okay. Sure. Why not, I guess?
Anyway, going back to the first world that the Traveler, not necessarily the first world that the Traveler blessed, but the one that did the thing. After the Traveler left, or no, the Traveler didn't leave. The Traveler was just silent. It didn't do anything after the initial uplifting of their civilization. So their society began to crave meaning, and they wanted any kind of direction in the sandbox that they were given. And due to this lack of purpose, they began to desire a winnower that would carve out meaning and purpose, out of the sandbox that they were given. They wanted rules. They wanted some
plot.
kind of they wanted somewhere to go.
They wanted a plot to happen. They were stuck in a story that had no plot.
Yes.
Oops.
Guys, am I an asshole because I created a world and then gave it sapient beings? Then it was like, actually, nothing ever happens.
I want to ruin everyone's fucking life.
The civilization's governing body, known as the Consensus, had 3 different parties that each were they each had their own interpretations of the final shape. The final shape, of course, being shown to them by the winnower through some bullshit. I don't know.
Psychic dreams, maybe, probably.
But the parties were the solipsists, the nihilists, and the penitent.
Telling me the fucking solipsists were a major leader faction?
Yeah, so we're the nihilists and the penitent.
Okay, well, those make a little more sense. A faction of people named after a philosophy where you believe you are the only real living person in the entire world.
Yes.
From a faction of people.
Yep. Well,
sure it did. Just, okay. I can't wrap my head around. You and I, we've talked about solipsism.
Yeah, we have. The only ones that really matter, the only one that really matters is the penitent, because they're the one that wins.
Yeah, solipsists would lose in a confrontation.
Yeah, it doesn't even describe what their view of the final shape was. It shows the nihilists, they believe that the final shape would only be brought about by their own destruction, and the penitent desired to rid the universe of all suffering by any means necessary, and believed that anyone who did not act to do so were complicit in its repetitive cycle, in perpetuating the flower game.
Oh.
The penitent wanted the flower game to end. The nihilists didn't seem to give a shit about whether it ended or not. They only knew that the end of the flower game was the end of everything. And the solipsists were there. But because the Traveler uplifted them and gave them the ability to travel the universe effectively, unfettered by whatever the fuck, they became aware of an object of power that was... Cole, what does antipodal mean?
What does... Say it again?
Antipodal? Anti-podal.
Antipodal.
Okay, so you don't know either. Cool. The wiki is just
no.
throwing big words at me and expecting me to
Then-
know them.
Antipodes. No. That's just two opposite points.
Okay, so antithesis also works.
Antithesis works. It's two things that are opposites of each other. It's, I think, was looking it up very quickly. It is the of relating to or situated on the opposite side or sides of the Earth. So like, Earth's poles are antipodal to each other. So it's like 2 points on opposite sides of a sphere.
Okay. Yeah, so there was an objective power somewhere in the universe that was basically the other side of the Traveler, which was called the Veil. And in studying the darkness, they found out that if they were to unite the Traveler and the Veil, it would guide the universe into a perfected eternal form, the final shape, that would last to the end of time and beyond. And so they were like, "Oh shit, we can finally kill ourselves!"
Yay!
And so
Never been more exciting.
And so they made that their goal to do that, to finally die. And in response, the Traveler was like, I don't want to die. Get me the fuck out of here. And the Traveler leaves. And so that species, unable to bear the weight of existence eternal, the consensus, who was now exclusively the penitent after eliminating the solipsists and nihilists, voted to use the Veil to bind their entire species' consciousness together, merging themselves into a single, unfathomably powerful entity called the Witness, through a ritualistic mass sacrifice.
Wow.
This was not a unanimous vote.
Why would it not be?
And
What's
so
the matter with ritualistic mass sacrifice?
And so the Witness became a thing, started hunting down the Traveler with the sole purpose of uniting it with the Veil, and killing the universe effectively. So that's the creation of the Witness section down.
We can finally die!
The quest to die.
The quest to fucking kill ourselves.
And so now we go to an entirely different section of the universe. The planet of Fundament. This is where the proto-worms existed. It's also where the Hive are born later on in existence. But at the moment, the proto-worms are kind of just chilling. They're just kind of vibing there. Anyway, on to another area. No, we'll go to the worm gods next. Since we're already talking about the worms and stuff, I can talk about Rolk later. Eventually, the worms. The worms are visited by a creature.
Creaker?
Known as Rolk. And the worms are... Rolk is one of the Witness's disciples. And I'll get to him more in a little bit. But Rolk subjugates the worms, and they are forced into servitude of the Witness. And basically makes the worms produce larvae that that the Witness basically just lets them drift into the oceans of Fundament, down into the deep.
Okay. Sure. This might as well happen.
These worm larvae eventually became the worm gods. And there are 6 of them. There is Zeta and her 5... Yes, 5 children. I had to count. Her 5 children, Akka, Zol, and Yule. I don't think any of these names are actually important for any particular reason, so I'm just going to call them 1 through 6. Basically, all of the other larvae were killed. The reason that the worm gods even evolved into worm gods in the first place is because of sword logic.
Which is what?
I'm going to talk about it now.
Whoa.
Sword logic, also known as the bladed path, is a philosophy and paracausal power attainment system.
But
Uh,
okay, hang on. Say that again. Say all of that again.
Sword logic
Uh-huh.
is a philosophy and a paracausal power attainment system.
Okay, see that first? The first part of that makes sense.
Think of it like, okay, Cole. Think of it like this. Think of it like cultivation in Chinese.
Makes so much more sense immediately to me.
Yeah,
It's like cultivation in manhwa.
exactly. It is exactly like that. The way that the sword logic works is to effectively, you are a sword, and the only way to become stronger is to sharpen yourself against other swords by killing them. And eventually, you just gain enough experience points to become paracausal.
Okay, so it's the philosophy of like the strong live to dominate the weak, I assume. And doing that grants you supernatural powers?
Not to dominate the weak, to the strong exist so that they may continue existing.
The strong exist to fight other strong people and become even stronger.
Until eventually there's only one thing left.
Okay. And this makes you a supernatural being.
Apparently.
Okay. You know what, actually? I was expecting this to be total bullshit. This is just, like, kind of normal story logic, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so I misspoke in the last video.
oh my
About-
god, misinformation? I can't believe that.
I'm
We
sorry.
know he loves spreading misinformation online. Let's not forget this.
First of all, not intentional. Second of all, barely of consequence, because I basically just said, so remember how I was talking about sword logic and its antithesis, gun logic? It's not gun logic, it's called bomb logic.
That's so much better.
It's sword logic and bomb logic?
Yeah.
You may be the better duelist, Kyla, but your sword logic is no use against my bomb logic!
You won't be saying that. Wait, what did you just say?
And then the dual discs explode.
I brought an improvised explosive device into the arena!
What?
This is how we do it in Brooklyn!
And that's why they call me the Boston Bomber, Kaiba.
Holy shit, man!
Run from haha funny Yugi to Jesus Christ.
How funny you get. Oh no!
sword logic is all about becoming all powerful through simplicity and just the power of self. Bomb logic emphasizes complexity and cooperation. And bomb logic always beats sword logic, because rock always beats scissors.
It's
There is no paper in this scenario, by the way.
rock always beats scissors, and as we know, a bomb is kind of like a rock, and a sword is just one big scissor blade.
Exactly.
Why the fuck? Wait, this is just individualism versus collectivism again. Except collectivism is a fucking bomb?
Yeah. Because you see, a bomb requires more parts than a sword.
No, that's so dumb! What the fuck? Oh, that's so fucking stupid! No! No! That's so
And I'm only kind of bullshitting you.
Sword logic being against... Listen, okay, this is kind of stupid, but like, I've read the Bible. And there's a verse in the Bible that's like about iron sharpening iron. You have two pieces of iron, and you grind them together, and they sharpen each other. And that's like how sword logic works, essentially, except at the end of it, you only have one piece of iron.
And it is the most powerful piece of iron.
And it is the sharpest fucking piece of iron that ever has been. So like it makes sense in like a metaphorical way. Why is it just so? Is it literally? I know you said you weren't exaggerating that much. I need to know how much you were exaggerating by.
No, I wasn't exaggerating. Like, all of what I said is technically true.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
so is it literally bomb logic? Because bombs are a more complex machine than a sword is.
And they require more of the internal mechanisms to work together. That is the reason it's called bomb logic.
Okay, that's still stupid.
I mean, absolutely it is.
Why not? Why couldn't we go with a theme like, if it's sword logic, why not do like bow logic or something? Because that still requires multiple pieces to work in tandem.
You see,
a bow needs to be flexible enough. You need it's different kinds of arrows for different things, different fucking strings and shit, man. I don't. Why is it sword and bomb?
they really wanted to illustrate the power gap between the two, I guess.
Fucking people at Bungie being like, yeah, we'll say that collectivist thought beats fucking individualism over any day, but also
We need to really hammer the point home.
really make sure that no one can misconstrue this.
Game dev sits down and is just like, you know the age-old saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight? And everyone's like, yeah. And I was like, what if it was don't bring a sword to a bomb fight?
Personally, I think gun logic already makes perfect sense. Like, it doesn't need to be different than that. Especially because the Guardians are almost exclusively using guns against most of everything else in the game, which is using...
And you turn things into guns!
Exactly!
Apparently.
Like...
It could be a
They came up with this section of the lore well after turning things into gun was an established part of what we do as Guardians.
Oh my god.
But even just calling it, like, if you want to display the complexity of it, it doesn't need to be bomb logic, it doesn't even need to be gun logic. It could be, like, tank logic. Like, a tank needs to be operated by multiple people.
Yeah, again, I could not tell you why exactly they did it that way. But that it is what it is.
It is what it took us so long. We were just talking about lore for us to fucking finally come across a goddamn joke in this video.
Like I said, this isn't going to be the funniest video, okay?
Just dry lore explanation for so long. I'm chafing against it.
But the different the different species that you encounter in the game have their own individual interpretations of sword logic. The Vex have deduced it down to as simple as this: I have to kill everything, then I will be powerful.
I guess that's true.
And that is
There's nothing alive, you're by default the strongest thing.
exactly that is effectively what it ends up being, like at its simplest core. But yeah, so the worm gods ended up ascending to becoming worm gods in the first place, by effectively just having all the larvae in the depths of Fundament have a battle royale, and the top 6 became gods.
Okay.
Welcome to Worm Royale.
Welcome to Worm Royale!
Wherever you drop it, boys.
Where are we squirming, boys?
Where are we squirming? Oh my god. Why?
Anyway, after the worm gods came to be, there was a creature called the Leviathan, which was a servant of the Traveler, and it was just like, I don't like seeing those there, and so they just imprisoned the worm gods in the oceans of Fundament, where they would remain for billions of years.
Okay. Sure.
It's a little
Naturally, worm gods are not, completely powerless against this, so they end up basically putting out a distress call to anything that could hear it.
We're getting this really weird transmission from like the Fundament. Like, what is it? And it's just a bunch of like, ah, let me out.
But this call ended up attracting hundreds of different species to end up migrating to Fundament. Those species, for the most part, end up becoming stranded there.
Yikers.
But okay, migrate is a bit of a strong word for it, because it's not really that true. Migration implies consent.
Mm-hmm.
What actually ends up happening is the Worm God's Call attracts planets to collide with Fundament.
Oh no.
And Fundament's a gas giant, so it's not gonna take all that much damage.
Oh,
so
no.
Most of those species ended up living on the shards of their broken worlds, which end up becoming floating continents. And one of those species was the Krill, whose homeworld collided with Fundament and shattered. The Krill survive and start building a new civilization for themselves on the floating shards of their homeworld. And hold on, let me figure out what the fuck is going on here. Eventually, the Krill become Hive, and there's a lot of stuff here that I have to fucking sift through.
Oh boy.
And I could just read off the fucking timeline verbatim. That's not a good video.
That's a fair point.
Why the fuck do I care about the Osmium King?
I don't know. It sounds pretty cool.
I don't know. He sounds
Made of
kind of yeah. He sounds kind of neat.
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. All that matters is that the hive eventually happen.
Okay.
And eventually they end up having the three hive gods, Xivu Arath, Savathun, and Oryx.
Oh, that's right. Those guys.
Funny thing, Oryx is canonically a trans man.
Oh,
Yay!
representation.
It's Pride Month again.
It's definitely not
Pride
Pride
Month
Month.
never
It's gonna- I don't think it's gonna. It's not Pride Month now.
It's June Eternal.
The June Eternal.
The reason that the hive gods even came into existence is because the three hive that they used to be, Zero used to be Xivu Arath used to be Zero, Savathun used to be Sathona, and Oryx used to be Orash.
Mm.
And each one of them takes one of the worm god's larvae as parasites.
Well,
So Xivu Arath ends up taking the night morph to become the god of war. Savathun takes the mother morph to become the witch queen, and Oryx takes the king morph to become the king of the hive. And together they form a death cult. The worm gods, of course, are still carrying out the will of the witness and the darkness. So the parasites are, of course, also carrying out the will of the witness and the darkness. And therefore, the hive now are carrying out the will of the witness and the darkness. So now they exist for one purpose, and that is to perpetuate sword logic to its logical extreme, which is, of course, killing everything. Which you might know, or you might notice, lines up pretty well with the final shape of, killing everything. And then the hive do a bunch of stuff. It's not really all that important until they discover the Vex.
Okay.
Forgot about how they discover the Vex. So Oryx's dreadnought is basically it's large enough to facilitate its own sect of the hive. So Oryx and his children, effectively, are going around on the dreadnought to enact the hive, the witness, the darkness, all that, their will.
bees.
Bees.
I don't like bees.
And while Oryx is absent from his court, because he's watching the darkness destroy a planet, Crota, after being tricked by Savathun because she's such a merry prankster, accidentally opens a portal to a place containing the Vex. And the Vex, being unable to comprehend the physics of Oryx's throne world, manifests something. They call it the dreaming mind. I call it the Vex's way of comprehending sword logic, because that's the one that lets it do them. That's the Vex that lets it comprehend sword logic. They manifest a Vex, who ends up just kind of chilling on the dreadnought for a couple hundred years before Oryx finally decides to show back up. Before everyone finally calls Oryx back to the dreadnought to fucking deal with it. And by this point, Oryx does have the power to take things by turning them into Taken. And so he takes several, a good number of the Vex, dividing them against one another, which weakens them enough for him to bide and blast them out of his realm.
Oh, I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could bite and blast people.
Yeah, whoever holds the Hive throne can bide and blast. It's in the lore that I decided to skip over for brevity.
For brevity, yeah. Definitely there for real. Don't look too much into it.
Yep. That is mostly all the Hive do for now. They will probably be important later. I can't quite remember. But let's go back a little bit to Rolk, because I said I was going to talk about him. And now I will. The Traveler arrives at a planet called Lubre, which is a planet that is orbited by two stars, I think. I don't remember. I don't know what the fuck a Sephiric Sun and an Umbral Sun are. I can only assume they're stars.
So was that Sulfuric Sun and Umbral Sun?
Sephiric.
Sephiric. I don't know what that means.
Sapphiric.
Wait. What?
Like sapphire. Is blue.
I think that probably just means resembling a sapphire.
Yeah, it's blue.
Okay, that's literally it then. It's just blue.
Yep, it's blue. Anyway, it's orbited by two stars. That's important. Just in just a little bit. But the Traveler goes to Lubre and uplifts the Lubreans, enabling them access to technology capable of letting them live on the planet without dying to the fucking wildlife.
Or was that a problem they were having?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Think of it like Ballast Flora, but worse.
Oh, gross.
And everywhere.
Hmm.
Anyway, the Traveler ends up leaving Lubre after giving them the power to, live on the planet. And the Lubreans start making an actual civilization. Not just, cavemen fighting against anything that's not in their caves.
Damn Plato and his allegories. We'll never be free.
Rolk is born to a loving family who ends up getting killed. They are killed specifically by the Stalkers, which is their military regime. And, of course, also the ruling body of Lubre. So he can't really do much to them. But Rolk gets very angry at the regime. Because they just keep fucking killing his family. And eventually he ends up killing a group of stalkers and gets exiled for it. And exile on Lubre apparently just means getting thrown into a fucking pit. So he just gets thrown into a fucking pit.
Damn. It's just a hole.
Yeah. It's called the Abyss. And at the bottom of the Abyss, Rolk makes contact with a mysterious being that would soon be known to him as his witness.
His witness specifically? Only his?
Yes.
Just all for him?
No one else's.
Well, at the time, the witness was just some collection of guys.
It's just a bunch of dudes.
It's just a bunch of
Pretty
guys.
much.
Just a bunch of lads.
Immensely powerful, yes, but also has basically nothing to its name aside from, a fleet. But the fleet is empty. There's nothing in those ships because, there's no more people left to pilot them.
But what if?
But Rolk ends up becoming the first disciple of the Witness. And Rolk ends up using his glaive to crack open the planet
Yeah, normal shit.
and destroy both the sun, the blue sun, and his home planet. And end up becoming the last Lubraean.
Oh,
Because, he's the only one who didn't fucking die to a planet being cracked open.
oopsies.
Yeah.
And
I
is
would
now-
survive.
and is now the first disciple of the Witness. Cole, you're not that guy.
Cool enough.
I'd make it. I think I would make it.
Rip to your grandma, but I'm built different. And Rolk ends up effectively being the hand of the Witness, and he's the one who does most of the recruiting of the new disciples. Most notably, Nezarec, the final god of pain. He will be important at a later date. But all you need to know about him right now is he is pretty good at using the darkness to cause planet-wide existential nightmares.
Oh, is he the guy responsible for when the moon gets haunted?
He is.
Uh-huh.
Wow. You gotta check up on the moon every now and again for everybody. You gotta check up on your friends, and sometimes
I'm
your friends.
haunting on the moon.
How do you like that, traveler? I haunted the moon, you idiot! But eventually Rolk ends up going to Fundament and doing the whole worm god corruption and stuff like that, which leads to the Hive, which brings us back to where we left off. Now is the birth of the solar system that we call home. All that happened before the planet was even formed.
Oh.
So when the solar system was created and life began to develop and evolve in the solar system, this led to the creation of the Nine, which are dark matter entities connected to the system, each one connected to a different planet. And yes, Pluto is still a planet.
Yay! The only thing I've ever wanted.
Woo.
At this point, before humanity becomes actually real, they might be fish at the moment. It's hard to say. The Vex are thought to have embedded themselves in every known celestial body in the universe.
That seems normal.
Um,
Right, aren't they kind of robots?
yeah, they're time-controlling robots.
So how are they... Sorry, when you said solar system, I imagine, like, the suns of each... They're just in every...
Every planet, a celestial body, yes.
Okay. They're just chilling.
They're not on the sun. Why would they be on the sun?
I don't know why I thought they were on the sun for a second.
But the Vex are constructing incomprehensible structures.
Yeah, normal shit.
Notable among them is the Vault of Glass, which I went over briefly in the first Destiny video. And at an unknown time period, there would be worm gods that arrive in Seoul and start chilling there.
Straight vibing.
And then the Hive, led by Crota, would arrive on the moon, and then they just chill there for hundreds or thousands of years. It's unclear how long it went.
Mm.
But now we get to talk about the Cabal. The Cabal, so far, that I've explained to both of you in the previous video, are basically just the guys responsible for starting the Red War.
Yeah, essentially.
Think of them like Krogan, in terms of like their civilization's mindset, but with substantially less physiological redundancies. So they're warrior people. They like to kill things.
Murder.
And eventually, the Cabal have like an interstellar empire. And they have a subservient race called the Scions, which are a telekinetic and telepathic species. And that is mostly what they use to communicate between, large sections of their empire, because it's fucking massive. And unlike every other, unlike the rest of the species I've mentioned so far, the Cabal have never been blessed by the Traveler. They're just built different. They just did all this, like,
Themselves.
on their own.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Let's see. Most of the Cabal's history that we know of is just the rise of Callus, who is the Emperor for the longest time. And also is, like, a pretty big reason as to why a lot of the stuff with the Cabal ever happened in the first place. Other notable Cabal are Gaul, the guy who created the Red Legion and consequently started the Red War. Like, the main guy who started the Red War. Callus was just kind of orchestrating everything from the shadows on accident. And Callus's daughter, Keitel, who is the current Empress, I'm pretty sure. And also the one who initiated the truce between the Cabal and humanity. And the rest of the history of the Cabal is just political intrigue. There's military coups, there's backstabbing. There's like a lot of it's very Roman. All the things that happen to them. But the last thing we're going to talk about before we talk about, humanity, are the Elixni. The Elixni are are the penultimate species to ever get blessed by the Traveler, right before humanity. So
sure
the
they
Traveler
could be
visits the Elixni's home planet, Reese, and provides them with ether. Limitless ether, rather. The Elixni already needed ether to survive, as it's somewhat of like an atmosphere that they just carry with them to breathe.
Okay.
But it's hard to explain. It's hard to describe, really. It's air, it is food, it is currency, it is basically everything that makes the Elixni. It is everything for them.
It's everything that makes them.
It's everything that makes them, yes. Eventually, the Traveler leaves because, it just does that. And after the Traveler leaves, there is an event called the Whirlwind, which is the destruction of Elixni civilization when the Black Fleet invades the system. Or no, sorry. The Whirlwind happens when the Traveler leaves because of the Black Fleet arriving in the system. Traveler just fucks off and lets the Elixni figure things out on their own.
You got this. Wait, what? You got this.
Long story short, they don't got this. The Elixni barely survive. The only reason they do is because the Black Fleet is more interested in the Traveler.
Why is that? It's just some guy.
No, the
Traveler's
Witness is
just a little guy.
the Witness is just some guy. The Traveler is like
You're right. The Traveler's just a little guy.
you know how the sun is like the reason we have life at all on the planet? Think of like the Traveler as the sun for the universe.
Can you describe what a sun is to me in greater detail?
Hydrogen?
No.
Oh, atomic particles?
Absolutely not.
You know the color yellow?
Yes!
Okay, think of it like that, but as a circle. You know what a circle is?
I know, yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, think of it like a circle in the sky. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, look up.
I see the ceiling.
Okay, above the ceiling is the sky.
There's nothing. There's nothing above the ceiling. I've never seen that. If I've never seen it, that means it can't be real.
Remind me the next time I see you, which will be soon, to grab your head and force it to look upwards when we're outside.
This is what solipses sound like to me. This is why I don't like them.
Okay, do you have a window in your room?
Not one that is uncovered.
Okay, the sky's not real.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the Elixni, after surviving barely, begin searching for the Traveler in hopes of getting their fucking getting their civilization back, because at the moment they're not doing that on their own. They just don't have the they don't have the cohesion left after everyone else died to restart a civilization.
What's so hard about it? What's so hard about restarting a civilization? I don't understand.
I honestly don't either, because I've never tried to do it.
And that means it's easy.
True. Anyway,
Yeah.
with the end of that comes humanity. I can finally talk about humanity. The Traveler shows up on Earth, gives humans the ability to do a whole bunch of shit, and humanity starts to colonize. They colonized Mars,
Mm-hmm.
several of Jupiter's moons. They turned Venus into a garden world. I believe they colonized Mercury. But that's about as far as they got. Um,
Only as far as Mercury. What a fucking shame.
only as far as Jupiter.
I don't know why. Fucking. My brain's a little busted. Jupiter's also not that far, though.
Okay, then walk there.
Yeah, okay, I'll be gone for a while, guys. I'm gonna go watch Jupiter.
Oh wait, no, wait, hold on.
See you when I'll see you when I see.
Wait, no.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
It really wasn't that far.
That's
I was
crazy.
like going to the other end of the room. Yeah.
Oh wow. Do you live on
Yeah.
Jupiter? Is that?
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like if you lived on Jupiter, even if somebody doxed you, had like good luck getting there.
My address is hard to explain.
11111 Jupiter.
My address is 1 on Jupiter Road, in Jupiter Town, in the state of Jupiter.
We do not have roads here, man.
Sorry, Jupiter Airway.
That's a lot more accurate.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's a gas giant. We can't have roads.
That you know of.
Anyway, I certainly don't live on Jupiter. That would be crazy.
Yeah, you live on Mars.
Yeah.
This post was made by hashtag Real Martian Gang.
Sure was.
So yeah, humanity settles about. That's about as far as they start to get. Then they start focusing more on innovating with new technology and stuff like that instead of further colonization. The creation of exos starts headed by one Clovis Bray. Point and laugh, his name is Clovis.
Who does that to their child? Who names their kid fucking Clovis, man?
They knew how much of a douchebag he'd turn into.
Did they know,
just
or was that
weren't
what they were
aware.
hoping for? Like, was this a deliberate attempt to make him an asshole?
He never stood a chance. His parents named him Clovis.
And Clovis Bray is like the big scientist who is behind so much of the issues that end up happening in the game. He was primarily on Europa. A lot of the other stuff that he did happened before. All of the other stuff that he ended up doing before going to Europa was stuff like creating the Warmind. And that's it. That's all I can think of.
That's all he did.
That's definitely not all he did, but I'd be here for a bit if I went into everything that he did in detail.
Mm-hmm.
But Clovis Bray ends up discovering a pyramid artifact on Europa, which he calls clarity control, which is what he ends up using to perfect the EXO project. However, because it's a pyramid artifact, it sure does kill 19 of his engineers when they're trying to move it. And so he's like, well, I can't move this. I guess I'm building my laboratory around it. And that facility...
Mad scientists are definitely... They get the name for a reason.
Yeah, they do. And that facility ends up becoming known as the Deepstone Crypt. Let's see. He constructs a facility known as the Morning Star, which is supposed to serve as a failsafe against any potential threat caused by clarity control. And the way it ended up being a failsafe was if a catastrophic event was to occur, or to eliminate all of the secrets within the facility if the crypt's security was breached, the platform would launch itself from orbit and crash into the site.
Because that's safe.
However, another part of that failsafe is that the Deepstone Crypt itself could launch... No, my bad. The Deepstone Crypt is directly below it. And so when it launches, it's also got like 1 billion nukes on it. So when it launches into the planet, or sorry, the moon, it will just blow up the moon.
Those are the moon nukes he was gonna use, aren't they? Wasn't he gonna use moon nukes in the fucking... in Warmind? Wasn't that like his whole thing?
Yes, but we'll get to that. The Warmind doesn't become much of a... Right now we're in the mid-Golden Age. The Warmind becomes important towards the end of the Golden Age. So we'll talk about him then. Still trying to complete the EXO project, like, without catastrophic and horrifying failures. Clovis ends up constructing Vesper Station, which is what he uses to conduct experiments that could potentially poorly interact with his other experiments. He has an entire place for bad ideas.
Of course. He's a mad scientist in a science fiction property.
And more importantly, he was given like infinite resources.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. People shouldn't do that.
Yeah. And so he ended up building an AI to run the station using Vex technology. With the intention of it serving as a Vex mind that he could use for observation. The AI recognized that it itself was too dangerous and quarantined itself.
Ew, I better not stick around for what's about to happen.
Pretty
I
much,
better
yeah.
fucking kill myself.
Quarantines the entire station. It's also in orbit around Europa. So there's just like a chunk of... There's just a big-ass building in orbit around Europa that you can't get into.
Oh.
Next up, Clovis finally ends up creating exos as they are seen in-game. Where, unfortunately, they're not perfect.
Oh no.
Far from it, in fact. Early exos would fall victim to what is known as the loop billboard crash cycle, where they would be plagued with cognitive repetitive behaviors, athetosis, which is involuntary writhing of the limbs and extremities, and gradual loss of sapience.
Hmm.
That's pretty not good.
Indeed. And so to somewhat correct this, Clovis ends up stealing Vex from some facilities on Venus who are using the Vex as a lot of stuff, really. The Ishtar Collective did a lot of things with the Vex. It's hard to pinpoint any one particular thing. But Clovis ends up stealing some Vex and uses the radiolaria that power the Vex in the Exos. I don't even know where he fucking puts it. Radiolaria is the milk that Vex run on. It is a collection of it's a collection of a bunch of nano machines, effectively.
Nano milk?
They run on Nana's milk?
That's
That's fucked up, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Vex run on milk. The milk is extremely smart.
Milk is smart. Oh, they run on smart milk. Apple brand smart milk.
Oh, yeah. If Apple ever gets into like food anything, I think we're all doomed at that point.
Yeah.
We've let them go too far.
And then, the government will just okay it and be like, but they're called Apple. How could we not let them?
Yeah.
But the Vex Radiolaria fixes the loop billboard crash problem. Which means that the exos now fall victim instead to dissociative exomind rejection, where think of it like body dysmorphia.
Okay.
That ends up driving them insane.
Mm.
Also, now that
being
also they're robots now, so they can't really they can't really unrobot themselves.
True.
So to solve the problem, Clovis comes up with two solutions. The first is a reboot, which does not wipe the Exo's memories, but instead wipes the memory post-transfer, which is something that just has to happen multiple times. The second solution is to introduce familiar human organic conceits into their body, such as the instinct to eat or reproduce, which they can't do.
You have to fuck to live.
Yeah, basically make them feel human things, despite the fact that they can't do those human things.
Oh, they'll be like Am.
The secret behind every good AI in a game is to just make it like Am every single time.
Yeah,
that won't go wrong.
That will never go wrong ever.
Yeah, let's go on to the late Golden Age. Everything else here is just fluff.
Damn.
At the start of the late Golden Age is the foundation of the future war cult.
Boy.
The future war cult is first of all, it is a cult. Their primary belief is that the war with the darkness is inevitable, whether they stay on Earth or attempt to leave. So all of their propaganda is effectively war propaganda. Trying to arm humanity as best they can against the inevitable war that they see. They're not very successful at it. Most of the group ends up disbands because a lot of their members end up going insane or committing suicide, and the rest leave out of ethical concerns.
This whole war cult thing wasn't so really just what I thought it was, so I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah. The main reason that they leave out of ethical concerns is because they started experimenting with Vex technology. But like
that always goes so well.
It always goes so well. The next thing that happens of note is the development of SIVA. You know, the nanobots that or the nanomachines that seek one thing and one thing only to consume everything in their path and multiply.
Oh, the fun.
Yeah. And you'll never guess who made SIVA. That's right, it's fucking Clovis.
That fucking guy again.
That fucking guy.
The Elon Musk of Destiny.
That's a cruel
Never had
title.
a good idea in his fucking life, and everyone else in existence pays for it.
Damn. Oof, Clovis, man.
Well, maybe he should have tried having a good idea every once in a while.
I'm a afraid it's just not possible.
He's just not physically capable.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of things happen in the late Golden Age. A lot of it is just creating fucking AI and then putting them somewhere. Rasputin the Warmind does a lot of things. But at the very end of the Golden Age, or the beginning of the collapse, depending on which calendar you go by.
How you want to square that circle?
The Warmind detects the sudden arrival of the Black Fleet outside of the solar system. And he, discovers that it is the Black Fleet. He, at first, it's just like, ships. I don't like that. And then he's like, oh, those are bad ships. I really don't like that. And he assumes control of humanity's planetary defense network. The Traveler, who was currently on Io and was in the process of terraforming it, Io, the moon, I believe, of Jupiter, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He was just chilling on Io. Fucking.
Well, the Traveler was the Traveler was terraforming the planets and the moons, which is why it didn't end up always getting to anywhere past Jupiter, really.
Okay. But you were just following it? It did all the fucking work?
Yeah.
That's one way to explain away. How do we colonize this? Some guy showed up and just made it livable.
Use magic. Use space magic to do it for us. But Rasputin sees the Traveler trying to fucking leave, flees Io and returns to Earth. And Rasputin is using basically all of humanity's weapons against the Black Fleet, and they do fucking nothing because we're using like regular ass guns against magic pyramids.
This can't I don't worry, I got this, guys. Pulls out an AK-47.
And for the first time in recorded history, the Traveler doesn't run away. For some reason, it decides to stay and fight.
I can't leave the human race behind.
For some reason, why don't you?
I don't
know. Else behind. Weird.
Yep. No fucking clue why. It does not say on here. It just says for some unknown reason.
He really liked the Ford F-150.
Really liked the Ford F-150 specifically.
On Mercury, while the Black Fleet is fucking shit up, a lot of things happen. Marasov, the Queen of the Awoken, who are not yet real, the Awoken are not yet beings, there's a collection of people on a warship called the Yang Li Wei. The battle between the Black Fleet and the Traveler leads to the creation of a Kugelblitz. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna... it's a big word that means something. It is effectively a new pocket dimension made from light and darkness where time passes much, much faster. Naturally, it sucks in the Yang Li Wei, and the people aboard lose their physical bodies and become ghosts, basically. Marasov is on that ship, and those people eventually become the Awoken later. I don't know when. It happens sometime. Also during the Black Fleet's existence, the Vex units, the dormant Vex units on Mercury, Venus, and Mars react to the collapse and start reactivating and vexifying those worlds. Mercury is turned into a very nice Vex paradise. It's full of milk and metal.
It's full of milk.
And metal.
Yeah, and metal. We cannot forget the metal. Metal is just as important as milk. The Black Fleet arrives at Earth. The assault being led by Nezarek. You know, the nightmare guy.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, he has the fucking veil aboard his ship.
Oh.
I guess they just carry that shit around with them. It's like the cheese touch for the Traveler.
That's definitely one of the mental images of all time.
Obviously, humanity is not going to win against the Black Fleet.
Why
they are
not?
threatened with extinction because we suck. Next question.
Oh, no, we don't, though?
Not a question.
But what if we didn't?
If we didn't, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Hmm.
Well, that's probably true.
So the beings that are heading the Black Fleet's invasion of Earth are the Witness, obviously, Nezarek, and Savathun, who you might recall as being the hive god of wisdom and trickery.
Ooh.
So she betrays and kills Nezarek. And tricks the Witness into sparing the Traveler instead of, cheese touching it with the veil. The Traveler sacrifices itself to push back the Black Fleet, and ends up going dormant just after creating the Ghosts, which in turn creates the Guardians. And now we go to the Dark Age.
Well, this game was about light.
Yeah, well, it is. This is the Dark Age. It's also about darkness. And the Dark Age is about
The beast?
sucking a whole lot.
Oh.
The Age of Hornets.
Yes. The Age of Hollow Knight Silk Song.
I fucking wish, man. You can't just say that shit to me.
Near the start of the Dark Age is
I see how
the
it is.
founding of Neomuna, which is a a colony on fucking Neptune that somehow just like the Black Fleet just, I guess, missed the ship, and they missed the Black Fleet, and neither one of them were aware of each other's existence. So, the people on Neptune just start making a fucking a colony there, completely unaware of what the fuck is happening outside of Neptune.
I mean,
just like chilling.
They're just like chilling.
I mean, I guess space is vast enough that they could absolutely have just fully missed each other in every way, shape, and form.
It is worth noting that the Veil somehow ends up on Neptune's surface. I don't know how.
It just walked there, I guess.
Oh right,
It
yeah.
walked there.
Savathun betrays
Ginger.
Nezarec, betrays and kills Nezarec, and it was on his ship. And she's just like, well, I gotta hide this somewhere. Neptune's completely uninhabited. That's a perfect place to put it.
Meanwhile, random colony on Neptune. What the fuck is this thing?
And the Veil being whatever the fuck it is, ends up being something that people should not like approach directly. Any EXO members of the crew that were trying to that approached the Veil would just go brain dead.
Oh. That's not good.
That sucks for them, I guess.
One of the lead researchers investigating the Veil is Maya Sundaresh, who kind of becomes enthralled by it. And she just spends the rest of her days obsessed with it in like a really religious and weird way. And so the city of Neomuna makes a fucking containment unit for the Veil, because what else are you gonna fucking do?
Honestly, yeah.
And of course they are using the Veil to power the city itself, because what else are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
Let's see. The Elixni arrive in the Sol system relatively soon after the Dark Age begins. And they don't like humanity, because they still have the Traveler, despite the fact that the Black Fleet literally showed up, and they're like, why couldn't that be us?
Someone's
Why
a little
couldn't we nuke the shit out of the Black Fleet and then get cool magic space powers?
Because it sounds like someone's a little jealous.
Extraordinarily, yeah. Maya Sundaresh continues to do weird occult shit with the Veil, including placing dead exo bodies in certain arrays around it to basically have the Veil possess them. She ends up placing her consciousness into one of the dead Exos, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
And then she just fucking leaves Neomuna somehow. I really don't know how she ends up in the last city, but she ends up becoming the she ends up becoming the only member of the future war cult after the collapse.
Welcome to my cult. Where are the rest of the members? What do you mean?
There's supposed to be more?
There's supposed to be more?
Oh shit, did I fuck up?
Oh, wait, hold on.
The rest of the cult members died or left or went insane. But hey, I'm still here.
But hey, if you sign up, you get a 10% discount on cult robes. 'Cause,
We got a lot of different sizes. Some of them maybe a little damaged, but don't worry about that.
Some used. Some of them are used. That's okay.
Some used. Lightly used. This guy died 3 seconds in.
Yeah. Let's see. The Warmind would wake back up after getting turned off during the collapse.
Why would you turn off the thing that took control of all of the weapons all over the place?
Okay. Turned off is a bit of a stretch. Well, okay. Rasputin decided to kill itself.
Oh.
Because he's like, we're fucked anyway. Just get me out of here. But he comes back. He wakes up, discovers Neomuna immediately somehow. Oh, that's how Lakshmi gets here. Okay. Neomuna sends a few people to go stop Rasputin from learning more about Neomuna because they don't want to be known. Because being known is how you get killed. And the Exo that Maya ended up possessing, I guess, goes with. And she gets left behind on Earth.
Oof,
I don't know why. I guess Neptune just didn't fucking want her.
Like, do you want the crazy call lady back? No. No, why would we
No.
want her back?
You keep her.
Yep.
Anyway, after that, the Cabal show up, and the Hive show up. And it's just a big old party. We got the Vex, we got the Elixni, we got the Hive, we got the Cabal. The others will... The others being the Taken and the fucking Scorn will show up eventually as part of the plot.
Yeah.
But at the moment, everyone's here, and it's real fucking bad.
Yay!
In the mid-Dark Age, the Iron Lords are formed, which are effectively just Rangers. They exist entirely to save people save normal ass people from getting killed in half.
Like entirely in half?
Yeah, they get killed in half.
Wow.
I had no idea it was so thorough. Fully in half.
Um,
Crazy.
the Iron Lords band together because the first light bearers, the first people resurrected by ghosts, were known as the Warlords, who were not nice people.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
Wouldn't
could
have
have
anything to do
guessed.
with why they're called warlords, right? This is anything to do with them being
No,
warlords?
the group was actually founded by Kevin Warlord. Just took the name.
Of course, obviously.
Yeah.
Kevin Moore.
But the Iron Lords band together to take down the Warlords and end up becoming protectors of the people against pretty much fucking everything. There's a lot of war that goes on. Some of the Warlords still exist. More war happens. More war happens. A lot of this is the Iron Lords and the Warlords fighting each other. And, like, I'm sure it's really interesting. But I don't got that kind of time. The entire mid and late Dark Age is just the Iron Lords and Warlords fighting each other. And then we go to the City Age, where the last city is founded. This is also where the Dreaming City is founded, created, thought into existence, I guess. Marasov, now crowned as Queen of the Awoken, wants to create a peaceful realm for the Awoken to not get killed in half. And so her younger brother, Aldrin, decides, yeah, I'm sure I can find something that'll help with that. Hey, look, something that'll help with that, and gives her a wish dragon.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday. You
I
get a
give
city
you-
out of this.
I give you fucking Shenron.
Yeah. And so she uses the wish of a dragon to construct the Dreaming City in a fucking pocket dimension.
Wow.
There's a guy named Toland who's like,
Toland?
yeah, he's a warlock. And he's exiled from the last city for his obsessive and dangerous studies on the Hive. Notably, being exiled allows him to continue his work unabated.
As punishment, you're getting banished.
As punishment, you're getting exactly what you wanted.
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah.
So wait, once I leave, I have like no restrictions or anything. I don't have to follow your rules. Well, no, and I get to study this however the hell I want. Well, I guess, but like, fuck yeah, let's go.
A lot of what happens in the early City Age is a lot of things are formed, like a bunch of different bands of people, outposts, stuff like that. You know, all the stuff that comes with making a city. The mid-City Age is when, you know, the city is, like, actually established. And so the first thing that happens after everything's established is all of the Guardians go hunt every Ahamkara to death. The Ahamkara, for context, in case you forgot, are wish dragons. The same wish dragons that are given that Marasov used to create the Dreaming City. And the Guardians do a pretty good job of killing all the Ahamkara, except for like a few, two of them. Unfortunately, Ahamkara bones still hold their consciousness, so like they're still technically alive. It's kind of hard to kill an Ahamkara, actually. They're kind of eternal. I also don't know where the fuck they goddamn came from.
Dragonland, I don't know.
Kind of showed up one day. They're just chilling.
They just vibing, bro.
Yeah, they just showed up in the Sol system after the Traveler arrived. That's about all we know, I think. No one knows where they came from or where did they go. Cotton Eye
They
Joe.
are not a Joe. Oh, they are. Oh,
Are they?
interesting.
Cotton Eye Joe is the greatest Ahamkara of all.
I see.
Interesting.
So yeah, Ahamkara get mostly extinctified. What's the great disaster? That sounds important. It's like kind of important. It's just Guardians fighting the Hive. They kind of fuck up. The moon is now haunted and off limits.
Ah, the haunting of the moon.
The initial haunting of the moon, distinct from later hauntings of the fucking moon.
Yes. The Reef Wars happen. That's the Dreaming City fighting the Elixni, and eventually subjugating them. One of the houses of the Elixni. Yeah, I mean, oh no, sorry. The creation of the Black Heart happens at the very end of the the City Age, and then the game starts.
Oh.
Really, Black Heart happened had such a short lifespan.
Wow, it basically never existed.
Yeah.
I feel like they made all this lore, and then they're sitting there and they're like, guys, we did it. We did it. We made a whole story with lore and stuff. And someone was like, what about the Black Heart? And they're like, put it there.
What? We made a thing called the Black. When did we do that?
When we started making the game. And...
I can tell you what the Black Heart is now.
Oh boy, what is it?
It was meant to be a replacement for the Veil, but it sucked at its job. Because, as you may remember, Savathun stole the Veil.
Oh man.
And so the Witness was kind of upsetty about that, and then was like, all right, if we can't find it, make a new one.
Just make another one.
Let's make another of this, like, insane artifact.
You guys know how to do that, right?
Just do it again. Just do it again.
Yeah, just recreate the consciousness of this cosmic being that we physically cannot comprehend the power of.
Yeah, just do it. Just can you do it
Just
in like
do
a
that.
week? You should do that in like a week. It sounds like
That won't take long, right?
It only lasts like a week.
That sounds like a genuine engineering meeting where it's like the PR people ask for the dumbest, like, most insane shit. It's just like, okay, try. Try really hard.
Oh, they made a second Black Heart?
Oh no.
This happened right before the final shape. And then we blew that up too, I'm pretty sure.
Fun.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, we destroyed the Black Heart again. Killed that thing twice.
Damn, that's crazy.
Killed 2 of them things.
Two of them things. Wow.
Yeah. That's yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the episode.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I don't know what else I would talk about. Like, I could talk about the start of Destiny again.
I didn't know we're good.
and now with more context.
No. No, they don't get more context than this.
I guess
This is my farewell to Destiny forever.
Okay.
This time.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
for real this time.
there any thoughts, feelings about the lore we've got before we're gonna end?
No.
Or no?
I think the lore is substantially better than the plot.
I agree.
I don't agree with that. I think they're both kind of fucking all over the goddamn place.
Well, that better doesn't mean good.
No. Fair enough.
This shit. I think it's better, but it's not. It's still not good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. It's just kind of extension.
I really expected this video to take longer.
I did too, but we're like right on time for 2 hours, like on the dot. That's kind of crazy. Did we phase out noises because your voicemail doesn't work anymore?
I mean, it works. I could even open it right now. Maybe I might be able to open it right now.
I will.
Cheryl install an update for a voice mod.
Oh no. You know what? You can figure that out for the next episode. We can just we can just get goodbye, everybody. See you in the next one.
Audio. This time we're actually going to talk about Halo Infinite.